What's going down, everybody? Welcome back. This is Jeremy G Podcast. This your boy Reckless Talk. I got another special one for y'all today. I got my boy on here. He is a comic book creator. So, man, let's go ahead and get him in here and let's get it started.
Yo, what's up? What's up?
What's going down, man? What's up, brother?
Man, same old, man. Living a good life. Black, blessed, and highly favored.
I hear that. Man, it's an honor to have you on the show, bro, for real. Before we even get started, a lot of people ask me, where do I find guests? Believe it or not, guys, I've been on all my guests for at least 15, 20 years. Perfect example, Andre. I haven't talked to Andre probably since high school. We follow each other on Facebook. That's how we communicate. I just happen to reach out to him. You know what I mean? That's how I do all my guests. He could tell you, man, my life is hectic. I be running around doing so many different things. But when you got good people, when you are good people, no matter how long it's been since you talked to them, man, if you're a good person, they're gonna hit you back. I mean, so like I told you yesterday, man, this is an honor for me. You know what I mean? To help you get your business out there and promote you. For real, it's definitely an honor for me. For real.
It's an honor for me. I appreciate you even considering it. I just be in my own little world.
Man, when I seen your post the other day with your book that you got up on that website, I'm like, man, I gotta have him on the channel, man, for real. Like as soon as I seen it, I messaged you. Like, yeah.
Man, it took a minute for me to even get that courage to get there. But I appreciate you even looking at it. I mean, I put it out there because I want people to know, like, if you have something, God gave you a skill, you should go and use that.
Exactly. Like me personally, I've never been into comic books. I've never been a comic book person. But like I said, at the end of the day, this is what my people's doing. I'm about to support it, and we about to get you out there. You know what I mean? And saying that, man, let's get started. Question one: how long have you been into comic books?
Honestly, I've been into comic books like pretty much most of my life, man. I've had comic books in my life since I was probably like 6, maybe 7. Because I used to have they used to have a detective comic with Batman, and I used to have to sneak one of those at Boys and Girls Club because you're just hanging around because everybody would just snatch them up and draw on them. So I have them in the corner and they'd be reading them. Yeah, I've been in the comics for a long time, man.
Oh, bro, that's what's up. Yeah. All right, what was your favorite comic book growing up?
Yeah, it's gonna have to be the Batman, man. Because I mean, honestly, I'm a big Batman fanatic. So yeah, it was definitely there was one detective. It has him sitting in a graveyard. I remember the cover like clear as day. It was like one of my top favorite. I probably read it about 4 or 5 times, until they took it from me because they were like, you can't just be home. I wanted to take it home.
Yeah, that's what's up. So before I even ask the next questions, I got a lot of friends that kids are into comic books, so they will be watching this episode. So in saying that, what made you start creating your own comic books, and where can we find your work at?
What made me want to start creating my own comics, man? It was just really the fact that I like the creativity that they bring and the attention they bring to people. Every day when I was growing up, I drew one thing, just to keep my creativity and my imagination going. And that was the best way to get your imagination from in here onto a piece of paper. And hey, it does take a while to get there, but eventually, it just starts to come to you. It starts to flow like water. And like right now, all I have out right now is my 2 chapters on Webtoons. And I have a lot more. I just put those 2 just out there just to start out. I have a whole story. I have literally a journal full of strip, different lines, different scenes. It's all about really just planning. It takes a while, but like I said, man, as soon as you start putting it together and you actually brainstorm, make your whole plan come together, it starts to flow, and then you start to see the bigger picture.
There you go. Yeah, that's I've been seeing you on Facebook, man. Like you always posting something, one of your drawings or some type of story or something. I love it, man. I love it. I'm proud of you, bro. For real. Super proud of you. So you my next question, which you kind of answered, it was how many comic books do you have out? So you actually have one out right now. I have 2 chapters, which I've what is it called? Tune what?
It's at webtoons.com/canvas. You can find me at the comic books called Morality, and it'll have my name on it, Dre Potts. It'll have my name on it.
Yeah, well, what I'll do once we get off, for anybody that's gonna come on here live, once the episode's over, I'll put all his information in the comment section and where you can find his work and everything. Let's see. What advice would you give to the younger generation that's thinking about creating their own comic books?
Don't get discouraged. Just know that everybody has their own style of creativity. You see all kinds of different ways. Like I said, The Simpsons. You see Rick and Morty and all these other ones. Different styles don't make your art not great. The fact that you could keep going and you have the confidence, that's all you really need. Just don't get discouraged and just keep going.
I like that answer. Another I want to add to that, especially for the younger generation, when it comes to art, there is no right or wrong. There is no nice and ugly. Because art is art, and everybody looks at art through a different eye. You know what I mean? So, like he said, man, don't get discouraged and keep doing what y'all doing for real.
And a lot of times, that's the thing about the younger generation. A lot of people have people in the background that's not even giving you the right feedback. The thing is, if you're looking at your stuff and you like it and you think that it has some kind of potential, that's your calling. God doesn't give you a gift and does not want you to use it. A lot of times people get discouraged because they can't draw stick figures. That I started with a stick figure.
It's funny you said that. Let me tell you something. So I went to school to be an architect, right? Yeah. And I mean, I can't draw for shit. Like I can't up until I went to school, like my stick figures would be crooked, right? And I didn't realize I knew how to draw until I went to school, but I can't draw people or nothing, just like buildings and architectural shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, I never thought I would be into that at all until I actually went to school for it. And I fucking love it.
Yeah, man. Because I mean, for real, architecture is like it's like just more defined. It's definitely about measurements because you're thinking about big things compared to a small comic strip. So I mean, yeah. It's almost the same feel. It's actually the same feel.
Yeah. Actually, since we talking about that, so like in the architectural world, we use AutoCAD. Are there any programs you use, or do you just freehand everything?
I usually freehand a lot of things. I usually use a sketchbook first. Like I draw with my pencil, and I usually find like a reference, and then I do a little modifying of it myself to different scenes and everything. I add. Sometimes I take about 3 or 4 different references and I smash them all into one. It's it's all kinds of configuration going on. Usually I just use if you want to use the digits, I use Sketchbook. I use a Sketchbook app that's actually on the Google Buy. I mean, you got to buy it now, but I have a free one. So,
Okay, I'm glad you touched on that. So, what advice would you give the younger generation that's starting off? Like you just mentioned that app. What other tools would you recommend for them to use?
I mean, if you could always use you could use Procreate. A lot of people that have Apple iPads and everything use Procreate. Like I said, I use audio desktop, like a sketchbook, and you could use simple, just like the paint app that's already on your computer. You can use that. That works just as fine. There's a lot of people who make art from just simple things. You don't have to have a bunch of expensive stuff to make good art.
Cool. All right, question 6. Back when we was in high school, comic books was a dying breed. What do you think made them popular again, and how do you feel to be a part of it, a part of the new movement?
Man, when I think about back in high school, I just starting to feel a little old now.
I know,
right? Dang, man, I just thought, man, back in high school, yeah, I feel like it was a dying breed because people didn't want to like pick up an actual hard copy. I mean, people stopped doing that. Nowadays, you just have it on your phone, and that's what's making it come back, because on top of all your art and comics going to your phone automatically, you can just pick it up off an app. They're also becoming movies. They're also becoming plays. There are a bunch of toys coming out for them. So really, it's because, I'm going to be honest, it's because Hollywood ran out of ideas.
You know what? Okay, so in saying that, I agree. That's a whole nother subject because I'm tired of all these remakes.
Yeah, right.
In
That's what I'm
saying that, do you think like the Avenger movies and all these the superheroes kind of help the dying breed come back?
Yeah, it really did because when you could actually see a visual to it and actually be able to go sit down and watch it. I mean, a lot of people who like read comics, they get all that from just looking at a picture and reading it, just like people who read books. But when, Thanos and all the Avengers and the universe came through, that's when it launched. But honestly, Blade was like the beginning of it. He was the first black superhero. He was like the beginning of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been around, but I think it was really just Hollywood going, hey, we should make comics into real things. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. Still missing out on Static Shock.
You said what?
Still missing out on Static Shock though. That's still a black cartoon that we need to be bringing.
Yeah, I agree. All right. How old were you when you started drawing?
Oh man, I started drawing when I was like 6 or 7. Like when I was younger, I used to have to stay with my uncle, and he usually would make me draw for like an hour. And after a while, I just started doing it. TV be on, I wouldn't even pay attention to nothing else. I'd be in my own world for about an hour. So yeah, like around 6 or 7, I started really getting into it.
And is that the same? Is that the same uncle where you found all them comic books?
Yeah, man. Yeah, when I was younger.
Would you like to share that story?
Yeah, I could share that story. When I was younger, man, he passed away. I'm guessing it was from heart issues. And when he died, he had like a whole bunch. Before he died, he made like a whole bunch of comics. Like he would write original stories, like for the Alien versus Predator movies. He would make Predator like an actual comic that was all just his idea, and he would draw it and write it. There'd be a Star Trek one. He would do the same thing. There was one for like NASA. But anyways, he would make a bunch of these. He would make like a big stage for Batman and Star Trek. But when he passed away, he had these comic books, and I had them for a few months. I left for like a family issue, and then I came back. They were gone. I don't know where they are, but ever since I looked at them, I was like, man, he had all this skill and all of this, and nobody knew about it. And I just didn't, I feel like I should be, trying to get my art out there because that's what he would do with his if he actually had the opportunity. It's really heartfelt. I feel like he's always around. So I'm just trying to.
I appreciate you sharing that story. And the reason I want you to share it, for the younger generation listening, but don't give up on your dream. When you got something, you know what I mean, that you love and you want to put out there, go ahead, because you never know when it's your time to go. You know what I mean? Like he said, man, his uncle had a bunch of stuff, original stuff that he wrote up and drew up and never put it out there. Man, younger generation, if y'all listening, please, man, whatever y'all decide to do in life, man, go at it 100%. Go at it 100% for real. Like my boy Dre know, like all my people know, and for my followers that's been following me since I started this channel, man, I'm all about supporting my people. Like I told you, I don't know nothing about comic books. I've never been in the comic books, but I know my boy is. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna promote him. I'm gonna back him up 100%. So in saying that, man, all of you follow your dreams. Follow your dreams for real. Chase them. For
real talk.
Last question of the day. At one point in life, did you make the decision to start creating your own comic books?
When I started looking at my sketchbooks and I realized I have so many sketchbooks and so much art, and I never did anything with them. Actually, it was really my girlfriend, like my current girlfriend. She really pushed me because she was just kept looking through them, and she was saying to herself, "Why do you have all this stuff and all these ideas, but you don't want to do anything with them?" And I was just, it was really fear. It's fear. And she just told me, it's like, I mean, there's nothing to be afraid of. You got talent. You should let people see this. So, I really appreciate her for doing that, helping me out. As many people have told me, but she's actually really backed me up. So I felt like, hey, I do got a lot of ideas. So I should really be putting these out for somebody.
That's awesome, man. That's so awesome, especially as somebody that has your back. Another thing to the younger generation: fear is a liar. Fear is a liar. Fear will hold you back to be a successful person, to do so many successful things in life. Um, we are our own biggest enemy, and fear is a liar. Real.
It's
I
the
want
thing.
I want everybody to think about it like this: if you want to go do something in life, go ahead and do it. Because if you got something going on and you try 10 different ways and they don't work, them 10 ways, don't look at that as failure. Your only way you're gonna fail is by not trying. You know what I mean? You do something and it don't go right the first 10 times, you didn't fail. You just learned 10 ways on not how to do it. You know what I mean? Everybody, man, stay on point, man. Everybody follow your dreams. And saying that, we're gonna go ahead and end this, man. I appreciate you coming on here. It was an honor, bro. Like I said, I'm gonna put all your information in the comment section. We'll have you back on in a few months and see how much you've grown from there.
Oh yeah, hey, and then by the way, if y'all out there, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, same name, Madwonkahatter.
Yeah, I'm gonna put all that in the comments for everybody. So for sure, definitely.
I appreciate you, man.
Man, it was a blessing having you, man. For all my followers, I appreciate y'all. You know, y'all already know what it's about. This your boy Reckless Talk. We out of here. Y'all have a blessed day. Peace.
Sure. Peace.